We're going to do this a couple of ways. Those that have the 1,000 plus 1, that means you're coming with your 1,000 that you're giving, plus you've asked someone else to give. Now, you don't have to stop at 1,000, and we're going to deal. So in other words, if you say, Pastor Winans, I'm coming with my 1,000 plus another 3,000, then you'll say that. You understand? And if you didn't get plus 1, but you maybe came with $250, you're going to come say that this is my 1,000 plus 250. You with me? And we're going to go all the way down. So I need you, in order for this to work, I need you to come when you're called with the offering that you're bringing.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm going to work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife, Melinda P. Sapp, was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get 1 soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap. That's swag. I was looking in her eyes. She's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. I got you.
Number one, that offering was taken last year. This was a service that happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen at my local church. It actually happened at a national organization's international meeting where churches from all over the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors. Yeah. I said shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out. They've taken issue with my tone. And I can honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. And I can apologize for that. I can apologize. The $40,000, if it was $40,000 that was raised, was never given to me. That money was raised for the purpose of taking care of the budget for their conference, not Marvin Sapp. Number two, it didn't happen at my church. It happened in Baltimore. Number three, people take issue with me being firm with the ushers. Anybody that goes to church, ushers one-on-one, that's the first thing they teach you as being an usher, is that there are 3 times you don't walk. You don't walk during the altar call. You don't walk during prayer. You don't walk during the offering. One of the reasons being is because of the sacredness of the moment. But it's also about security. As a pastor, we understand and we know that churches are being robbed at gunpoint. It's happening all over the country. This is not something I'm making up. This is factual. The reason why I'm here is because what has happened is people have taken clickbait and made something out of it that it isn't. And because of that, my church has been getting phone calls. People have called my church and cussed me out. My staff are afraid because I've received death threats over $20 and shut the door. People have come to our campus. They have come to my church to to try to cause problems, issues, challenges. And again, my children, I don't look at comments. We've talked about this. I don't read comments. When you got millions of followers, you ain't got time to be reading all the comments. You just don't have it.
Right.
My children do. And they are.
All right, so I need the church people to step directly to the front, because y'all got some explaining to do, because it's interesting to me how it is that you guys say that you have so much love and faith in God, Jesus, all the type of stuff, y'all are from the cloth and you're part of the flock and you read the word and all of these things. And I'm just trying to figure out in both of these cases, what does Jesus or God need with like $1,200, $2,000, right? What does God or Jesus need with 40K? Because last time I checked, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, right? And again, maybe, you know what? Let me just look from my point of view, right? If I look on the back of my money right now, it says, "In God we trust." But no person who is of the church can specifically tell me what God the United States is talking about. Is the United States talking about your God, or is the United States talking about a whole other God, right? And then within that, wouldn't that then mean if there is an absence of God, right, when dealing with the United States, when dealing with money, wouldn't that then mean that that currency is evil, or be it the root of all evil? Basically meaning that this is in a sense the devil's money, right? We are using, worldly currency. We are using the currency of, the devil, Antichrist, all that type of stuff that people normally want to bring up and talk about. So again, I'm just trying to figure out like what God, if you are to donate or give money specifically to a God or gods, what God in these churches are you specifically giving, donations over to? And what are these donations supposed to do? Because I'm just trying to figure out, are black people paying for time to spend with God or Jesus? Are they paying for, a collect call, a quick line directly up there instead of waiting in line like everybody else? I'm just trying to figure out, because nobody can specifically make it make sense. And then even when people do make it make sense, I'm still trying to figure out, how are people so stupid to be giving money directly over to the church? And especially, as I can't speak for anybody else's church, but I'm talking about specifically the black church. How is it possible that black people are still doing this? Oh, better yet, you know what? Let me just rewind it real quick. I've understood and I've learned for a very long time that if you put God or religion and you side that with black people, anything is possible. What I mean by that is case in point how slavery was able to exist for so long in the United States. Because not only did you have black people afraid of white folks and the things that they were going to do, right? Because of the indoctrination, because of the imagery, because of the words, right? Because of the teachings that were directly out there that were given to black people in order to make them fear another group of people, right? Black people feared white people more than they feared God, right? So going back to what I said before about that fear, then you layer on top of that religion. Anything is possible. So now we're looking at 2025, 2024, whenever these videos are basically up, you're looking at 2 black pastors. One pastor who is a whining decided that he wanted to shame a black woman in front of the congregation, in front of her son, sitting up there telling her like, "Oh, this $1,200 you worked hard for, that you actually saved. You could have used this for yourself. You could have put it somewhere else. You could have even donated to the homeless. You know what, man? You came to this church and you know the specific directions I gave you. It is not enough. God needs more. I need more." So the next time you come directly up here, make sure you follow my instructions. Not God's instructions, my instructions. And when the woman, she was like, "You know what? My fault, Pastor. I'll sit up there and work on the rest of that money." He was like, No. I don't want that. That's not what I asked you to do. That's not what I told you to do. And I'm going to move this to my next point. The reason that these churches are able to get as much money as they have and they're able to keep running, that's due to the effect of a lot of the black women who are still a part of the church. A lot of black women have a lot of money, right? They save money, work multiple jobs. You got a lot of black women out here with like degrees, entrepreneurs and everything of that sort. So these churches know that black women have this exorbitant amount of money, but nowhere to specifically put it. So what do the churches do? The churches then decide that they want to start formulating these plans specifically around black women, right? To get them to walk through the door, to get them to start wanting to give, to start donating money, to almost hand over all of their finances at the whole thing of quote unquote, we are empowering, we are giving you attention, we are giving you love, we are giving you nurturing, this, that, and the third. But I promise you, all of the money that black women are giving, it's not getting them nowhere. I can promise you that. I haven't seen churches, all of the black churches, I have yet to see them make all of these black women entrepreneurs. I've yet to see these black churches make all of these black women millionaires and multimillionaires like these pastors and a lot of the other ones that's a part of the 1% in the congregation. I've yet to see these churches help out fields of these black women, lifting them out of poverty, giving them a well-to-do job, making sure that their heads are above water, allowing them, these fields of black women out there, allowing them to be able to financially buy a house and breathe, just have room. I've yet to see any of these churches do that. But yet black people will continuously defend these churches in every single thing that they do. All because you have religion and God attached to it. It's crazy. It's diabolical to watch and to see this happen and to yet again watch the black people. Now I want y'all to know, go back and watch the video if you need to. In both of those videos where people were in a sense shamed one way or another, you had people laughing. And I'm like, ain't nothing funny. You had Sap sitting up there talking about close the doors. Brother, who you talking about closing the door? We ain't closing no doors. This ain't jail. This is not a Christian jail. This is not what we sitting up here doing here. Then you had the other guy, like I said before, he wanted to clown that black woman in front of her son in the congregation. And all of those black folks up there, like I said, it was not a white person in sight in that seat. All of those black people up there laughed as if this was like really the best move for a pastor to sit up there and do to a black woman. And even the black woman herself just sat up there like, all right, we're going to sit up there and carry on. I'll sit up there and do better next time. That's crazy. That's diabolical. That is 100% diabolical. If at any point in time that black people had the full on right to just go off on somebody, it's during those times. Because we got black people out here who are part of this 1%. And again, I have to show this and I got to say it this way. These are the people that are holding the black community back. This 1%. So, and I want y'all to understand that a lot of these individuals, they're part of these groups, right? You got these congregations. Again, that's a religious gang where the top 1% are making money, but you guys are affiliated with this congregation gang. So, you know, you may get a little bit of something. It'll be a trickle down effect. It'll be the tightest trickle down effect that you've ever seen. It won't even be a drop of water. It'll be an air or a mist. And you'll think that you're really getting something. But yet they're sitting up there in like a whole ocean of money. So it's like, yeah, it's crazy out here. It's crazy. Like I said, all you have to do is attach religion and God to any situation, and black people basically eat it up. Like I said before, this is how white people were able to do slavery for so long. This is how they had black people asleep for so long. And a lot of these instances where the black churches could have helped the black community fight, stand, and do a variety of things, they stood still. Because they understood that if they decide to move, that their money is going as well too. That they too themselves will be marked the same as the people that they're supposed to preach to and protect. That they're supposed to lead and put directly on the right path. Like I said, it's crazy work out here, but you know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.